Good morning, guys. How are you? Today we have the plan of the Unit 6 of Basic 8. In this case, the topic is about from the description, about from the person, about personality and attitude. In that part, we have how to use adjective with how. Remember how? We use like como, but we use how in other form, que. How tall are you? ¿Qué tan alto eres tú? How old are you? ¿Cuántos años tienes? And the other part is to describe the action of the person. How fast does your brother write a poem? ¿Qué tan rápido escribe tu hermano un poema? So that's the purpose how to use in this program with using with how. How plus adjective or how plus the adverb. Okay? And in what situation are we going to use that? Because with how adjective, we use the verb to be is, or could be or are. If I use how with adjective, we are going to use with the simple present tense using do or does to doing a question. Okay? Now let's go how to use the concept. And we have this part, grammar, questions with how plus adjective or adverb. These questions ask for clarification of the degree of the adverb or adjective. A common example that students have already learned is how old are you? Okay, we have how and this is the adjective. Note that with adverbs, this type of question is used with adverbs of manner. Well, badly, and go on. And time, late, early. But not with other types of adverbs. Let's see the structure. Rule. How, the plus, adjectives or adverb. Now, let's go to know how the form of the structure, how to use it. First, adjectives. Give information about nouns. Use how plus adjective to ask a question about a descriptive adjective. Example, Lemora is very mature. Okay, in that part we have how to use this part, very mature. So the adjective, because this is the adverb. How mature is she? You know, is and Lemora, she. And the answer about this question, she's mature enough to babysit my son. This is the answer. Okay, in part B, adverb. Gives information about verbs. Use how plus adverb to ask a question about an adverb. In this case, example, I learn quickly. This is the personal pronoun, the verb action form, and this is the adverb, rápidamente, quickly, o tan rápido. How quickly, ¿qué tan rápido? How quickly do you learn? You see the auxiliary? This is the auxiliary after quickly. The subject pronoun and the verb. I learned to write a bicycle in 1 day. Okay? This is the part of how to use how in that concept. The second, we have of the grammar. In this case, we have how to use enough and to. Because in that part, we can use with the verb to be to describe the person, the qualification of the person, the quality, or about the personality or attitude. And the adverb is going to use with verbs. Okay? So in that part, we have to be careful. Okay? Because it's talking about to go beyond of the action above from the description and description above from action of the person. We're talking about activities, okay? So let's go. Grammar. Enough, suficiente. Not enough, no suficiente. To, muy, plus adjective. Enough, not enough, and to are used with adverbs. Example, he talks loudly enough. He doesn't talk loudly enough. He talks too loudly. So in that case, the first idea, the adverb is at the beginning, and after that we have enough at the end. Now, loudly, In that part is affirmative situation. Look at this, the verb. The verb in plural person with the verb talks, and he, third person singular, and the verb in plural. But in this case, it's negative situation. We have does not or doesn't. And look at this, the verb, look at the verb, look at the verb, no plural form. The lovely, enough. And the other, he talks. Again, the verb, too lovely. Too is here and lovely here. Now, the other point, it says, enough, not enough are also used with verbs, and nouns are also used with verbs and nouns. Example, I ate enough. We take enough time. Look at this, the verb and enough. The other example, the verb, enough, and that noun is an abstract noun, sustantivo abstracto, time, tiempo, okay? Now here, another example. This room is big enough. This room is not big enough. This room is too big. This room is not too big. In that part, those examples are with a verb to be. Look at the adjective and enough. Negative, adjective, enough. Affirmative, to, first, to, and the adjective. Negative, to first, and the adjective. Okay? Now it says, this lesson presents their use with adjective enough is placed after the adjective, and while to is placed before. Okay? After the adjective, after enough. And before, to is before, and the adjective after. Okay? Now, I have another examples that is in your book of my IELTS, of your book in English word. And we have here, number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. It says, he was old enough to sail alone. And this is the structure, adjective plus enough. The amount that you want. He was not fast enough to catch fish. Number 2, not plus adjective enough, don't have the amount that you want. His boat was too dark to see. Number 3, 2 plus adjective, more than the amount you want. Okay? This is a part of the adverbs, adjectives of manner or degree. Okay? Now, finally, we have to finish how to use the present perfect. In that case, I have one example and I have here the structure how to use it. Let's go here. Present perfect. In present perfect, we have to know that present perfect tense is to use when the action has done by the person. Up to the time. It's not mean that you have to proceed to detail how long or how to distance to use for, since in that moment is present perfect. Different about present tense. Present tense means actions that you do in that moment. But present perfect action that the person has done up to the time. Okay? In that case, if I say, I have had a beautiful music. I have had a beautiful music. In the time, it's logic, it was in the morning, about 8 a.m. Okay? Now, how to use the concept, how to use it. Come on. Present perfect. We have the verb, auxiliary verb, have and has. You have traveled to Hawaii. He, she, it has finished high school or school. We, you, they have painted the house. Okay? And that part, this is the part of the rule. The subject, auxiliary verb, the verb in past participle, and the complement. Now, let's go. I invite you to my table, and I have how to use in sentences, questions and answers. Let's go here. And in this part, we have how to use it. In that part, I say, Teacher Angie has drank manzanilla. This is the subject. the auxiliary verb has, the verb past participle, and the noun or complement. In that sentence or statement, I changed to question form. Look at this interrogative form. In that part, has teacher Angie drunk manzanilla? Is the question. Answers: affirmative and negative. Yes. Look at this. It's the contraction of has. Okay? She has or she's drank manzanilla. Short answer: yes, she has. No, she hasn't or has not drunk manzanilla. Or no, she hasn't. Sorry. And that part we have the adverb frequency. The adverb frequency is to know about the degree of the action of the person. In that part we have ever with a translate, yet with a translate, and never with a translate. But look at this. Ever and never is in the middle between the auxiliary verb and the verb past participle. But yet is at the end of the structure. So it says, Angie has ever taught English. Paul hasn't finished his school yet. Angie has never taught French. Okay, and let's go here in adverb frequency. Already is another, is the Spanish. She has already finished her homework. Okay, that is the part that we were practicing with the book above from your pages, how to use the exercises. And I have another example with the part of how. Look at this. I have another example of how. It says, how tall is your brother? How fast does your brother write on the keyboard? Fast or quick? Look at this. Tall is the adjective, the verb to be, and the complement. And the other part we have the adverb here. How, adverb, whatever, fast or quick, auxiliary does, and the complement. Okay, there's a part that I use it in that position. Okay, so I put your work in the neck of the platform about from the homework that you have to done. Okay, in that part we were practicing the both Saturday of the reading, the talk about that lady that have some difficulty because she had an accident, and how was the progressing of her ability to continue because she was a professional snowboarding, about from the Nubian of in Africa that they were married, and about how to use the dialogues. Okay, and remember is to continue practicing with the vocabulary that we were practicing with the vocabulary, with the first verbs. Okay, remember we did the goal check. Okay, and I put in the program of the special homework the goal check of your units of your book. Okay, so see you the next program, unit 7 and unit 8. Bye bye. Put like.